Family, it is the last Friday show of the year. It's the last Speak show of the year. Thanks for rocking with us thus far. We got another banger for you, but the biggest game is 25 hours from now. You got the Cowboys, you got the Lions. This game could decide who will be the #1 seed. Yes, I said it, in the NFC. If the Niners happen to drop a game, the Detroit Lions could end up as the 1 seed if they can take care of business against the boys. Let me break down who has the edge on today, why sports television is made. Starting with the head coaches, Mike McCarthy, Dan Campbell. Both of these coaches have done phenomenal jobs with these two organizations, but only one of these coaches has a Super Bowl. Edge for me goes to Mike McCarthy. I love what Dan Campbell has done. I love what he's done, but Mike McCarthy has made sure the Cowboys stay at an elite level, and most importantly, this is a water cooler stat for you at home, 15-0. The Cowboys' last 15 home games, they have handled business. Okay, let's move on to the quarterbacks. Jared Goff, Dak Prescott. Interestingly enough, they were both drafted in that 2016 draft class. One was #1 overall. Dak Prescott was the 4th-round pick. Give the edge for me to Dak Prescott. Ooh. See, Dak Prescott, he has found a way to continue to traverse beyond the fray. He's lived above the noise, and this year he has played at an MVP caliber level more often than he has not. Now let's talk from the micro to the macro. Let's talk about the offense. Offensively, in totality, give the edge to the Detroit Lions, in large part because of their offensive mind, their offensive coordinator, along with what they have at the running back room. You got David Montgomery, you got Gibbs, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown at wide receiver, you got Laporta at tight end. They, from top to bottom, along with the brilliance at the mind, they dominate the offense. Defensively, Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons, Gilmore, Land, Wilson. The names are endless, and I didn't even mention DeMarcus Lawrence. Shame on me. Cowboys get the edge on defense, but the X factor, this is the one name that you need to know going into the game tomorrow at 5 o'clock. For me, it is this man, David Montgomery. See, the Cowboys struggle with people who will run right at them. David Montgomery, he's not the speed back, he's the power back. Cowboys, they are very thin in the linebacker room. We will talk more about that later this show. So in the biggest NFC game of the year, these are the names, the faces, the people that you need to know. But at the desk, these are the names, the faces, the people that you all need to know. James Jones, Super Bowl champ. What's the word, big dog?
Man, my brother, what's going on?
It's all good. It's all good.
It's good to see you, Will. It's good to see you.
It's great. We'll get to him in a moment. Joy Taylor, the brilliant, the always dressed, the stunning, the elegant Joy Taylor.
Dressed.
How are we, Joy? How are we
good.
doing?
I thought we were going for like New Year's theme. It's the last show of the year.
Ain't that something, though?
I've been planning this fit for months.
Me first, James Jones, what's up? Then he said, the always dressed. He don't see me?
He did. I know he sees you.
I am building. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to my right is a Super Bowl champ, Will Blackmon. He was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. He played 12 years in the National Football League, a friend of the show, a friend of my own. However, he is not a friend of suits. He is not a friend of button-downs. He is not a friend of dress shoes. He's not a friend of slacks. He's not a friend of khakis. He is a friend of pullovers, bro. See, he didn't get the memo.
I didn't get the memo.
You thought this was the herd. See, on the herd, you were dressed in the exact same way, right?
Oh,
but see, Will,
screenshot.
on this show, Will, you know, sometimes we like to get dressed up. You know, we don't go straight to work out after.
Okay.
We work out before the show.
Okay.
So anyway, Super Bowl champ Will Blackmon, how you feeling besides comfortable?
Well, clearly I feel like one of your uncomfortable guests on one of your uncomfortable conversations. But when I come to this show, what I do is I actually go into Acho's wardrobe, and I'm like, okay, what does he have? I'm like, there's no suit today.
There you go.
So I ain't wearing a suit today. This is the dress down desk.
I love it. Well, the Cowboys, they will be dressed up for their performance. Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions. It's a must-win game, really, for both of these teams, Joy Taylor. But who in the world needs to win more, Cowboys or Lions?
I think the Cowboys do, mostly because they're coming off of 2 straight losses. You don't want to go into the postseason with that kind of momentum. 3 straight losses?
Yeah.
2 straight losses sounds bad.
Yeah.
3 sounds a whole lot worse.
Definitely.
Especially when you're talking about losing to the Lions, who are a really, really good team in the NFC this year. Now, look, overall, the Cowboys have had a really nice season. They're going to be in the postseason. You mentioned all the talent that they have, all the great wins that they've accumulated. They've beat down on a lot of people this year. They've had they put a lot on paper to be proud of.
Yeah.
But we're now at crunch time. We're in December, almost in January. And this is the time where you want to be playing your best football.
No doubt.
You had a really, really bad loss to the Bills. Okay, it happens. But it's compounding. Sometimes it happens. Start compounding things. Then you took an L to the Dolphins. on the road. This is an opportunity to get back right. It would be a really nice win because the Lions are a good team. So this isn't a team that we just expect you to smack around. You're going to have to bring your best effort. And I think that it means more for the Cowboys this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, this ain't even close right here. You're talking about a Detroit Lions team who is riding with a lot of confidence. 30 years. They ain't won a division in 30 years. They just sold that up last weekend. So they are really coming into this game with zero pressure. You are talking about a Cowboys team who really needs this win. They still have only beat one winning team. They still struggle on the road winning football games. So for me, this game is at home to where you dominate at home. But not only that, this game is for confidence. You are going to be playing these type football teams in the playoffs. Might be on the road. So you have to find a way to dominate a football game against a really good football team and win this game. Because I'm telling you now, the Commanders mean nothing next week, confidence-wise. You may go on the road and win, but you are going into the playoffs in your mind knowing you lost to the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Lions back to back, and you're getting ready for the playoffs with no bye week. So this means a lot to the Dallas Cowboys. They have to play the right way and win this football game against a really good football team.
Now, Will, you can offer us invaluable insight because you were with the Cowboys coaching staff during training camp. I remember calling you while you were there at the practice field and whatnot, so you know this team better than anybody else.
I wasn't giving out no secrets, by the way. He called me, but that was it. I just want to let y'all know.
That was it. Give us the secrets right here, right now, though. This Cowboys team, how bad do they need this win? You know that team well. You know that roster well.
Well, this is huge, and you and I talked previously, about the fact that, like, personnel-wise, which is why they're struggling in the run game, losing two linebackers. So I think, especially this time of year, it's going to be important to fix the things. Like most teams, maybe they need to get healthy going into the postseason, right? In this case, they really need to find a way to correct the things in the run game. And this is going to be a great opportunity. You have a really extremely physical team that has two legit number one running backs in the backfield. So it's going to be huge for them to fix those things because right now that's the glaring thing. When you play against teams that are punishing running the football, they have shown they're able to expose that weakness in the Cowboys defense. So this weekend for them to get the win and to also fix those things on defense, I think is going to be massive.
Very well said. Joe Flacco, the ancient Joe Flacco, if I may, in jest, he threw for over 300 yards once again. Here is my thought. This Cleveland Browns team very much so reminds me of the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl team, and here is why. This Cleveland Browns team has dealt with so many injuries. Delpit, Conklin, Chubb, amongst others, Rodney McLeod. That Eagles team dealt with so many injuries, and I haven't even mentioned the quarterback, obviously, in Deshaun Watson. Eagles team, Chris Maragos, all-pro special teams player, Jordan Hicks, Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, Donnell Pumphrey, amongst others. Both of these teams were decimated by injuries, and they lost their starting quarterbacks. They both currently have elderly backup quarterbacks who are great in clutch moments. They might not be great in careers. Nick Foles, phenomenal in clutch moment. Joe Flacco, phenomenal in clutch moment. Super Bowl MVP. Both of these teams have found a way to win despite the immense injuries. Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator of that Super Bowl Eagles team. Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator of this current Cleveland Browns team. So you got a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl and a defensive coordinator that's won a Super Bowl. You got a great defense. You've been decimated by injuries, but you still found ways to win. This Cleveland Browns team is eerily similar to that Eagles roster, which I knew all too well as someone who was drafted by the Eagles. Joy, I believe that teams should fear this Cleveland Browns team. They should fear this Cleveland Browns team, not because this Cleveland Browns team is the most lethal, but because this Cleveland Browns team is the most sneaky. Everybody knows keeps their distance from a shark. They're sharks. People don't think keep your distance from a hippo. But hippos kill more people annually than sharks. This Cleveland Browns team might not be the most lethal, but Joy, they're the most sneaky. You like that one, Will Blackmon. Joy Taylor, should teams fear the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, people should be more aware of hippos.
They should.
They're quick, and they
I just learned a good lesson.
I'm telling you.
Don't be like, hey.
Don't go nowhere near the hippo. Matter of fact, if you're that close, it's probably a wrap for you anyway. Yeah, they should fear the Browns. And it's just weird to say it. It's crazy. Yeah. But they keep doing it. And a big reason why they're doing it and a big reason why teams should fear the Browns is that defense.
Right.
Since week 14, they're allowing 4.1 yards per play. That's the best in the NFL. 11 takeaways, leads the NFL. And they're allowing a passer rating of 64.5. That's the best in the NFL. Their defense is the key to this Browns situation. That and great coaching. And lots of talent. But to me, it starts right there. If you can give your offense an opportunity and you take advantage of it, that's a scary team.
Yeah.
And they're playing with house money. Nobody expected them to be here. Nobody has any expectations of the Browns. Correct. I mean, he's loving it. This is great. There's 5 kids. Come watch Dad play. This is amazing for him. So yeah, I think they should fear the Browns. But I do have a sneaky suspicion that they will fear the Browns. The way that they are playing and the way that the defense is playing specifically, I don't think any team at this point, they would be silly, honestly, to overlook what the Browns are doing and what they've done for the past few games. They're 4-0 since week 14. They're on the same streak, longest current win streaks as the Ravens, the Browns, and the Bucks.
Yeah.
So they're playing really, really good football. They're well coached, and they lead with their defense that is playing at a super, super high level.
Let me get to this point before Will. Can't wait to hear from you, James. Can't wait to hear from you after hearing from Joy. The best part about doing this show with people who played for a long time is once you play for a long time, your mindset starts to change when you're an older player in the league. When you're young in the league, you're just trying to make it, figure it out. You got a ball every single time. Once guys like y'all, you get married, you start having kids, it puts in perspective where the NFL falls in your life. Will, you said something brilliant. Joe Flacco's playing with house money. Joe Flacco plays free every time he's on the field.
That's the hardest
He's
thing
already won a Super Bowl, been the MVP. He's already gotten a $100 million contract. He's literally playing with house money. If I lose, cool.
That's it.
I got about 5 kids at the crib. I'm good. I think he is so free, and James, I think that is so lethal for other quarterbacks like Lamar, who's got to prove himself, Allen, who's got to prove himself. Flacco's done it. Talk to me. Should teams fear the Browns?
And that's a very true statement right there, because if Joe Flacco goes out here and loses to Tua in the playoffs, or Lamar in the playoffs, or Pat in the playoffs, we're going to be like, dang, the Browns did well.
Hey, good
You know
job,
what I'm saying? 11 wins, got to the playoffs. Joe Flacco, 300-yard passing game. Well done. Off the couch? Well done, Joe. So they playing with house money, and that is why you should fear them. Because they have 11 wins, and we can all sit up here and say at least 6 of them came from the defense saying, y'all ain't getting nothing. We're going to win this game 7-3. 10-7, whatever it may be, this defense has been balling. And now Joe Flacco is under center. I mean, you talking about 4 300-yard passing games.
Right.
JoJo ain't done that in his career.
Talk to me.
You know what I'm
Talk to
saying?
me.
And you are doing it fresh off the couch. So for me, Coach of the Year is a wrap. You done got this record and got Joe Flacco playing at this level in your system, passing the ball the way he passing the ball, offense moving the ball the way they move it, and we know they play defense. You should absolutely fear him, because as I'm looking at this playoff picture, Trevor Lawrence should be scared.
No doubt.
Patty should be scared with his offense. Josh Allen, we know he can go like that, right? You got the Colts in there with Gardner Minshew. The only one that really could be a little relaxed right now is probably Lamar. You know, but then again, this is a division game.
The Browns already beat.
And it's a division game, so that's going to even be a tougher, because it ain't no surprises. So it's everybody in this playoff picture in the AFC should definitely fear the Browns from what they putting on tape right now.
Yeah, it's funny as I look at these stats. Like, as a defense, you have all these goals, you know, in terms of, like, you know, you want to be really good on third down. They're number 1. You want to, you know, get a certain amount of takeovers. They're number 1. Stop the run. They're top 10. I mean, anything you want defensively, they're getting it done. And offensively, they've been ranked 1, as we see here, I mean, pretty much since he's been there, right? So overall, just as a team, they're doing great things. Like, I started fearing the Browns when I see them come out the locker room playing 50 Cent. I'll whoop your head. When they start playing, I'll whoop your head, boy. I was like, oh, man, this defense is ready to go. And I do love the fact with Stefanski being Coach of the Year, because, as you know, once the quarterback room falls apart, it is really, really hard to keep that together. I mean, you see it in New York right now with the Jets. As soon as that went down, I mean, they're dealing with everything. So I just, overall, man, the Browns is the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. And I totally would fear them, just because they are so comfortable. And that is the hardest thing to do, is to, like you said, play free, be comfortable. And this entire team is doing that.
Let me take it a step further. And this, now I might get disagreement. I apologize in advance. Sorry. I'm getting excited. As though I played for the Eagles, the Cleveland Browns drafted me. And so I do have to pay my homage to them. Pull up the full screen, please, of the playoff picture in the AFC. Because I have a question for y'all on the desk. Where would you draft Joe Flacco as it pertains to quarterbacks in the playoffs? Because when I think about the quarterbacks in the playoff picture, Gardner Minshew, he's starting for the Colts. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, he has one playoff win. He's starting for the Jags. Patrick Mahomes, he needs no explanation. Tua Tagovailoa has no playoff win starting for the Dolphins. Lamar Jackson, 1-3 playoff record starting for the Ravens. Josh Allen, I believe, a 4-4 playoff record starting for the Bills. Apology, I am doing this off the top of my head if I missed any of these statistics. Joe Flacco has 15 playoff starts. I believe he may have 10 playoff wins. Wow. 10 playoff wins, if I am not mistaken. Where are y'all drafting Joe Flacco? Because I will not name names. But I'm taking him third. Ooh.
You mean you took all the quarterbacks and drafted them
in the playoffs?
For the AFC playoff picture. I'm not naming names because I don't want to go viral.
Yeah.
But I would say that I would take him third. Remember, Joe Flacco en route to winning a Super Bowl, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions.
You don't want to go viral, man. This guy out of his mind.
Okay, so let's just assume you're putting Pat above that. Right, I'm gonna give you that grace.
Okay.
No, because he's not gonna say it, but I'm gonna give him that grace.
Yeah.
So that means that either Tua or Lamar,
it's
or
Tua.
Josh Allen.
I know.
Tua. Either Tua or Lamar or Josh Allen, because I'm not gonna make an argument for any of the rest of them, are outside of that top three.
Yeah. Like, where would you put?
Okay, so this is where. So I said a lot of nice things about the Browns. Remember a couple minutes ago. Remember when I did that? Yeah. I meant every word. But this is why we get crazy. Okay. Let's just relax a little bit. Okay. They are playing great football right now. Let's just wait. I mean, you can do what you want to do. I'm going to wait and see what happens in the postseason. I think I need to make sure that this is not a nice story, because right now it is a great story. Kevin Stefanski's going to win Coach of the Year. He deserves it. He's done an incredible job. Joe Flacco has done an incredible job. There's a reason, though, why Joe Flacco was coming off the couch. There was a reason. This is there was a reason. He's having a great moment, and we love it. We absolutely love it. We don't want to throw shade, and if it's sounding like shade, blame Emmanuel. He started this. Okay. I'm just saying, maybe let's just see if it's a good story.
Let me pump to the right real quick, James.
Yeah, I like
because
this.
You played with a quarterback and against a quarterback that will go into the Hall of Fame, in my mind, because of great moments. Eli Manning. Eli Manning, I do not believe Eli Manning was an elite quarterback. With all due respect, I don't. But in the playoffs, he was elite. Nick Foles, my former roommate, when I moved to Philly, Acho, come sleep in my guest room. You can have a couch. I didn't have anywhere to stay. Shout out to my dog. Nick is my dog. I don't think he was elite. But Nick had great moments, Super Bowl MVP moments. I don't think Joe Flacco was elite. But Joe Flacco has proven to have great moments, 4-game stretch moments, 4 consecutive games with over 300 passing yards. Will, I'm coming to you first because you won a Super Bowl on the back of Eli Manning and his great moments. Joe Flacco, where does he stack up in these playoff picture with the quarterback?
Yeah, it's funny you said that because when you mentioned the 17 Eagles, I thought of my 11 Giants because we finished the year 9-7, and we were the team, we were just like, don't let these guys get in. Don't let these guys get in. And we struggled. We were up and down. We lost some major games. We finally won the last game versus the Cowboys to get into the playoffs. And then once we got into the postseason, I remember we played Atlanta. Like, we were just so turned up. And we had the personality across the board. We had like a 9-man rotation on the D-line. We had studs in the secondary. We could run the football. We had 3 running backs that were aggressive. And like you said, Eli, we had Cruz and Nix. Like, we just had the guys where we were able to get in the postseason. So in terms of this, I can say this. I don't know where I would rank him, but I feel like this Joe Flacco, I think he could help a lot of the teams that are there. Like, if you took out the quarterbacks from, let's say, even Miami or Baltimore or whoever, I think Joe Flacco could go in there and help those teams.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.